I have held this video off for way too long. It's everyone's favourite number one, it's Thomas. Since I showed him publicly in late 2021, I've had numerous comments at how I built this cheeky little tank engine. And the truth is, I didn't make him. He was created by Danny Lovett a few years ago. However, I am going to walk you through the build process. The Thomas body was designed by the LBSC Thomas and 3D printed using a resin printer. These were then sanded to be extra smooth and filler was added to remove print lines and bumps. These stages have to be repeated continuously before priming. When doing this with current models, it takes about 3 to 4 attempts of sanding and filler before applying any primer. And trust me, I would know this stage very well. To me, a surface primer is always the way to go, because it just works so damn well. Now, you may have heard from Caleb Train's video about the Blue Blitz, a real 21st century problem that I am the main culprit for, because, let's not lie, something about this blue looks so right. I had Caleb Train and the Train modeler continuously asking me what blue was used for my Thomas. So I messaged Danny, and from what he could remember, he said Tamiya French blue had been used with numerous coats applied. This is what Caleb Train ended up using, but even after spraying many coats, he claimed his Thomas was still too bright in comparison to mine. When I visited my good pal the Train modeler in November, he held me captive until I found the correct blue.
Bullshit. Sorry. You should be dead.
Eventually he had to let me go because I have a life. But when I returned home, I found a strange spray paint hidden in the back of my shed. This was Humbrol's version of French blue that I purchased for a Gauge 1 Thomas project many years ago. Unfortunately at the time I'd felt the blue was too dark, but this was sort of before the community knew the right paints to use. But could this have been the one? Is this the holy relic the three of us had been searching for? The Train modeler was convinced this was the right blue and he decided to spray his Thomas with the colour. And whilst more accurate, it still wasn't the same blue as mine. This now poses a dangerous question for me, as when it comes to Edward and Gordon, I'm unsure what blue I'll use. Now, lighting is a key factor for everything, depending on how your layout is lit. Lights tend to make darker shades look brighter and more vibrant, and this is why sometimes using a darker colour that doesn't look right to the eye works really well on set. As we never found the correct blue, I'd recommend using Humbrol's or Tamiya's French blue. The Humbrol French blue is pretty close to what's been used on mine, but the Tamiya French blue is a lot more vibrant and bright. It really sort of depends what your style is and what your lighting situation is. After that disastrous few months, which actually caused little to no stress for me, it's now time to talk about the chassis. The chassis uses the standard Bachmann Thomas one, but with a twist. It uses Edwards wheels. Edwards wheels are far more accurate to the show, and you could even use Donald and Douglas's wheels for complete accuracy. That is if you can find one that doesn't cost £1 billion. Tamiya Red X7 acrylic paint was used for the running board, and a white acrylic for the top. I've had a few comments about how I should look at changing the running board to a standard primer colour, but due to how fragile and complete this guy is, I don't want to open him up and damage him. Lining was also done using some basic red trim tape. Now, on to the details of this model. Some crushed up coal has been applied to the bunker to make him look like a really hard working engine. The lamp, buffer and whistles were created by Jamos. Now, let's go back in time.
You gotta come back with me. Where? Back to the future.
When I went to my good pal Brendan Reese 10's house in the good old USA, we both decided adding a back lamp would be beneficial for my Thomas, especially since he has one in the show and he already had his back lining. So, this was added using a small pin drill piece to insert the lamp in place. The faces I have for my Thomas were created by Executions, which was sold to me via Danny when I bought the model. I once again want to state this model was not made by me, it was created by Danny, who decided to stop modelling Thomas back in 2021. Since then, it has been in my possession, and he looks great running around on my table. I really love having a show-accurate Thomas rather than the standard Bachmann one. There's just something more lifelike about this model, and he just feels good to hold. I think one day I'll look at building my own using these files and maybe have this one as more of a display piece. But at the moment this is my main and go-to Thomas. So here he is everyone, it's Thomas. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like and leave a comment. It really does help the channel, and I look forward to uploading more model making videos soon. I hope you all have a great day, and I shall see you in the next one.